Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week: COVID travel restrictions and the confusion. Also, how will Tourism Chilliwack respond? And meanwhile, employees at the Harrison Resort may be locked out. And down the highway, Mission has a new mayor-elect. As well, the Valley Huskers win a national title, but not on the gridiron. It's for their logo. Our special guests this week include Tom Caverly of the Valley Huskers, Chilliwack Mayor Ken Popove with Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. And joining me as guest anchor is a winner in a special category of the Total Makeover Challenge. You've seen it on chillTV with Trish and Jenny on Chill and Chat. And welcome, Amanda Nicholls. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Don.
You're welcome. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Employees at the Harrison Resort have been given 72 hours lockout notice. Now, this notice from the Labor Relations Board was posted to social media by one employee who wanted to remain anonymous. Fraser Valley Labor Council is expected to make a statement further on the reasons behind the move. chillTV has learned the reasons are not COVID related. It has everything to do with wages and benefits. Now, the resort could be shut down by late Friday. chillTV has also learned that Harrison may not be the only resort in British Columbia that could be behind a lockout. And we will be monitoring this story as it develops.
Meanwhile, Tourism Chilliwack, along with the Downtown Business Centre, have released a tip sheet online featuring links that can direct you to materials that will assist in communicating within the industry. Online bookings for accommodation are restricted until after May 25th as well. Should any questions arise for either business or personal issues, reach out to Alison Colthorpe with Tourism Chilliwack.
COVID numbers in BC continue to average just under 1,000 new cases a day. Primarily, those are exposures. However, intensive care units at all hospitals are reporting being stretched to the limit when it comes to manpower and resources. Travel between health authorities is discouraged, and there is plenty of confusion as to where you can go and what you can do. You can travel from Hope to Chilliwack if you have essential needs. That includes everything from coming into the WAC for groceries to visiting a loved one or even a court date. Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth stressed that you don't leave your health region until after the May long weekend, so May 25th. This is where the boundaries are tricky. Hope has not had too many COVID cases, so now they're going to be lumped in with interior health. Vancouver Coastal and Fraser Health are now considered one travel region. The BC Police Association.
Elections during a pandemic are a challenge. Chilliwack had that issue during last fall's provincial election and earlier this year with a school board by-election. This past Saturday, Paul Horn became the mayor-elect for Mission after a landslide by-election win to replace Pam Alexis. Last fall, Alexis left the mayor's chair to run and become the local NDP MLA under Premier John Horgan. Horn is no stranger to local politics, as he served on District of Mission Council from 2005 to 2011. Horn told chillTV that the sewer issues, waterfront development, and social acceptance of race and gender are top of mind. Mission was in the spotlight earlier this year after a transgender student was bullied at a Mission school, and that went viral.
Downtown Chilliwack Business Improvement Association will hold its annual general meeting on Thursday, June 24th. Due to restrictions on in-person gatherings and the concern for the health of members, this meeting will be held virtually starting at 5 o'clock. This year's AGM will be conducted via a Zoom video conference. All members will be invited to view online, but only pre-registered voters will be able to participate in the discussions as well as the motions and the voting. All the info is at downtownchilliwack.com. You do have to identify yourself as a commercial property owner and or a business tenant.
Plenty of items on the docket at the Chilliwack School District meeting for April 27th included COVID numbers. While the board didn't get into names and specifics, Chair Willow Reichelt admitted there's an increased transmission number through the system. The board approved a $25 registration fee for all students who are taking school transportation. As well, to undesignate promontory secondary students only from courtesy riders to regular riders, and for the secondary students, non-promontory would pay the courtesy rider fee if they're within the designated walking limits. And 2 name changes. F.G. Leary Fine Arts Elementary has been changed to Leary Integrated Arts and Technology Elementary, and McCammon Traditional Elementary to McCammon Elementary.
Dead ducks were found dumped in a wildlife protection area and had duct tape around them, as well as plastic ties, and that's what was around their necks. BC officials say the illegally disposed of duck carcasses were found at the Burt Brink Wildlife Management Area on Canner Road in Chilliwack. Michael Hill is a certified building material inspector. He said he was horrified to discover the ducks last week while he was investigating an illegal dump of asbestos-containing gyprock. He said the site, and I quote, simply made him sick. Illegal dumping at Burt Brink has been a chronic problem. BC conservation officers have installed trail cameras in the wildlife area, but sadly, they didn't capture any of the incidents involving the illegal dumping.
This year's Seabird Island Festival has been officially canceled. In a media release to chillTV, organizers said in 2022, they will watch the waters rise and our canoes race to the finish live and celebrate victory with fresh barbecue salmon.
The Sardis Secondary Mother's Day plant sale is coming up May 5th to the 7th next week. It's a fundraiser for the school's agriculture and greenhouse programs. Admission is free, but you have to pre-register for the drive-through pickup. Now, due to COVID-19, they will be practicing all safe social distancing and sanitizing procedures for your drive-through pickups. Signage and directions will be posted in the school greenhouse parking lot, and there is a Facebook page set up with more information.
And now we're pleased to introduce Mayor Ken Popove in an interview with Don in this month's edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City.
chillTV's News of the Week and another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, with the Mayor, Ken Popove. We've got a lot of territory to cover here. First off, the pump track, when it opened, everybody was saying hooray, and now we have security issues via social media. Where are we? What are we looking at right now? Would we have to clamp down on the kids going in and out? What do we have to do?
Well, it's still a hooray. It's still, it's still a win. I've been there a few times, and when kids are behaving, if you will, but we are a victim of our own success. That place has just taken off, but with some issues. Yeah, I've been down there a couple times and I'm not going to say accosted by some mothers, but I certainly have been given their ear and what's actually going on. And I experienced some of that stuff too. And we've had to make some changes. We've brought on security, which has already started, and that runs from 8 in the morning to 7 p.m. in the evening. That's when the track is supposed to close, and it will once we get the fencing up. I'll come back to the fencing in a minute. And their job is to keep the peace, if you will. And a big problem that I noticed is the loitering. There's an area there that goes under the overpass, if you will, and there was probably 20 kids kind of hanging out there. So that's going to stop. If you're not riding or on a board or what have you, you're off the track. Yeah. That track is for riders. So I haven't checked in with the security folks as of today, basically, but I'm sure that's going to make a difference. The second thing we're going to do is actually fence off the advanced track to the beginner track. And what I witnessed, there was a young girl, she's probably about 4 years old, her helmet was on sideways, yeah. And she's on the advanced track, and she's actually stopping. And she almost got hit 3 or 4 times, and I'm going, young lady, where are your parents? You can't be on this side of the track. I didn't have a conversation with her, but, yeah. She was lucky. So obviously we need to make some changes, and those changes are coming. I know it's been a little bit of a, I'm not going to say wake-up call, but just to have to deal with this. And it's too bad we have to deal with this. But at 7 p.m., once all the fencing is up, that track is closed.
Okay.
So it'll all be closed off. and because it's supposed to be a dawn to dusk is what it's supposed to be. We may extend the hours going into summer. We'll have to see how the changes that we've made are going, and we just want to make that place safe for everybody to use and have fun on. And I won't tolerate disrespect and swearing and that sort of thing. And if these young lads, if they won't respect our security folks, we'll call on the RCMP and we'll take the young lad home and have a little chat with mom and dad. I don't want to do that, but this track is for everybody. This is our track, and we want it to be safe and fun for everybody.
Continuing with things that have been coming up on social media, there were some comments made around the Newmark and the portal that the TUP would be extended after July 15th, I believe it is. I guess it's now rumor control, but that's just one of those things you have to deal with on social media. Where do we stand on that? Is still the hard date to shut down the portal July 15th?
Maybe.
Okay.
We are working on a plan.
Right.
We're waiting for a couple more check marks to come from BC Housing and from Fraser Health. Like I say, there is a plan that's been laid out, which could even possibly close that next week. But that 90 days is pretty tough to find another location, find a landlord that would allow us to move in, spend X number of dollars to make it habitable for maybe a year, until the new unit is built. So I'm feverishly working with all the parties involved to make this happen. We have hired more security, which I understand is working well. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Even when the portal's closed down, it's not going to be perfect. But it's doing its job, especially like around the Newmark and the folks that were hanging around there and doing drugs out in the open, which drives me nuts. I can assure you that those folks aren't the portal folks, because there is a consumption site inside that is regulated. Right. But people like to paint the brush in one way, and it's all the portal's fault, and that's unfortunate. But that's the way it is, and everything you read on social media is obviously true. So you got to take that with a grain of salt as well. But okay. It's a work in progress, Don.
Yeah.
I want that moved worse than anybody, but it's a process to get to that point.
One thing that raised a lot of eyebrows here in the Valley, and that was the situation with Vancouver schools and their police liaison and that program disappearing. Any worry of that happening here in the Valley, or is that strictly a Vancouver situation right now?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Don, because I watched the news last night and this morning, and I just shake my head. Now more than ever, with what's going on across the line, for sure, with the police shootings and all the social media stuff, the TVs and whatnot, and how do you expect these kids to trust the RCMP, respect the RCMP? These folks have a tough job to do, and this school liaison program, which is alive and well and working in Chilliwack, is something that I want to stay. I did call a trustee this morning and had a great conversation with them, and they haven't talked about it. And if they do, and if they follow in line with that way of thinking that they have in some districts in Vancouver, I'll fight them on that, because this is something that is definitely important. Like in my eyes, if a young lad is in an abusive family, say, and this is kind of hard to say, but anyways, if the father or mother are disrespectful to the RCMP because maybe something happened to him or what have you, what do you think the kid's gonna, take forward? These kids are sponges. Yeah. They watch what their parents are doing, and this gives the RCMP a road to go into schools and talk to these kids and say, yeah, we got a tough job to do. You got to respect what we do. Here's how we do it. And for me, I'm very passionate about this. So I'm hoping it doesn't come here to Chilliwack, the thought process, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Flood preparations, both the city of Chilliwack, city of Abbotsford. It appears that you and your counterpart, Mayor Henry Braun, are breathing a sigh of relief for Frechette for this year, and hopefully we don't have 2 like we had last year.
We actually had 3 last year, Don.
We had 3, yeah. Lost track.
Yeah, no, actually, it's almost a mirror image of last year as far as our snowpack is. We're 116% over normal, which was actually bang on the same number last year. It really depends upon how it comes down. So this past week when it was very warm, a big slug of it came down, then it cooled down. So it takes a couple, 3 days for the water system to come through the valley and hit the mission gauge, if you will, and then into the oceans. So it's being monitored. Again, it's really up to Mother Nature and how it actually comes down. Yeah, I'm with you, like everybody else who's in the path of the water and the rising of the water, which those little mosquitoes, I was going to add an adjective there, but I thought I wouldn't go there. But last year was an exceptionally bad year on 2 cases, because of the 3 raises in the water flow. But FERD, who's in charge of monitoring and taking care of the problem areas, they couldn't put 2 people in a helicopter to actually treat these areas because they're treated by hand. So this year it's going to be better. To what extent? Obviously, I have no control over Mother Nature or how these little mosquitoes hatch, if you will. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm pretty confident this year is going to be a better year.
Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, with Mayor Ken Popove. Again, a big thank you as always.
Thanks for having me, Don. Always a pleasure.
And you're watching chillTV. Valley Huskers had a pretty good week, winning Football Canada's national junior title. Well, it was a logo contest over Regina. May not sound like much on the surface, but for marketing the team and eventually getting family and fans back in the stands, it is a big deal. We had a conversation with Huskers president Tim Caverly. He'll join us for an update in just a moment.
Due to COVID concerns across the country, that has forced the Canadian Elite Basketball League and the Fraser Valley Bandits to push back the start of their season. Their first home game is now June 26th at Abbey Centre. It was originally scheduled for June 5th. Details can be found on the Bandits' social media.
This Saturday, the face of BC high school sports may change. BC high school sports oversees most of the sports programs in the province. Now, there is a push to have all sports programs under one governing body. Now, BC School Sports and other organizations are holding a vote on amalgamating all their resources. That is coming up Saturday, May the 1st. And now, our conversation with Tom Caverly, the president of the Valley Huskers. chillTV's News of the Week, and Tom Caverly, the president of the Valley Huskers. We got a lot to cover here. First off, congratulations on a national title. It wasn't on the gridiron, but it's still important. This is really cool. Tell us a little more about this football logo with Football Canada and junior football in general.
Well, I'll start out with the logo contest, and truly it caught us off guard and had, of course, a happy ending. Everybody knows about it, but I guess there we were minding our own business, and then Bob Reese, our head coach, gets tagged on this logo contest, and we're starting to ask everybody, what's this all about? So we didn't think much of it. Then we twigged on what was going on, and we started to get votes. And we didn't think we were going to make it this far, but as it progressed, we got more and more excitement. We got more and more people to vote, and the round prior to the winning round, we won by 0.2%, which is pretty crazy in itself. I mean, that you talk about a tight race. And then we had no idea when the final round was going to start. Fortunately enough, our social media person made sure there was an alarm. As soon as the alarm went off, we all got the call, and we all kind of rallied around. At that time, we were already kind of losing ground with the Regina riot, but seemed to do very well in the end. So,
and And we were joking off air. I have ties to Regina Media, so I was kind of rubbing it in with some of my old cronies from 30 some odd years ago. This is more than just a logo contest because of this and the branding of the team and a couple of other things happening, it gets that logo and the name out into the public and in anticipation of whenever football starts. But I would also think it would hopefully bring a bump into the selling of swag, of Valley Huskers merchandise, everything from T-shirts to ball caps.
Everything from T-shirts to ball caps, and of course, given our environment now, we're even looking at masks with that Huskers logo on it. But I mean, when you talk about branding, and let's be honest. Again, kudos to Bob Reese. When he landed in Chilliwack, he said we needed something to brand the Huskers, and reached out to one of his old teammates, kind of gave the vision. We need something that kind of says Fraser Valley Huskers. And lo and behold, we have this logo, this intimidating logo. And further that, as far as branding, we want everybody to know about the Valley Huskers. It really sets the stage for success. When you talk about, let's say, a national championship, I mean, certainly not the one we'd like to see, but it certainly will help us pave the road to that, because people will know us. People will get excited about our football. People will want to come and play football with us. And that's all key to branding, right? So,
yeah, and connected to that, obviously, not only getting sponsors and advertisers, but the bottom line is because it's not the NFL with a TV revenue, it's butts in the seats, and that's revenue at the gate. And that can only help not only the Huskers, but the BCFC in general.
Oh, I would think so. And specifically to the BCFC, and I know we've been having meetings, we're hoping that we have some kind of season. Of course, it depends on what COVID does for us, but at the end of the day, there's a few variations that I would be confident in saying, especially with the way the vaccines are rolling out, that which we should see some kind of a season. In between, if we can't have a season, we're building a program, and really this gem fell out of the sky for us as far as building that program, because we want people to know that we're a junior football team, and that logo just does it for us, for sure. So,
valleyhuskers.ca is now you're mentioning the masks, that and shirts and that. Are they available now or in a few days' time? What are we looking at for a timeline?
It'll be a few days' time. So what the plan will be is that if you go to the site, valleyhuskers.ca, and I also want to mention something else when you go to the site to bring it to your attention, but if you go to valleyhuskers.ca, it'll say coming soon. What the plan will be, click on it. If you're truly interested, an email will pop up, and just send us an email back. Needless to say, it'll be there. We're going to start out with a few items that normally people would want to.
And we just lost him, but
I don't know if you've seen it, but our head coach, he's been riding around Chilliwack lately, courtesy of Chilliwack Ford. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you have, there's a fantastic video on the website that lets you see what that's all about. And again, we thank Chilliwack Ford, we thank Save-On, we thank Camano, we thank Kinetic Signs. And that's the kind of support that's going to help us, the Huskers, build our program, and we're so appreciative of it.
Tom Caverly of the Valley Huskers, and again, check out the website, valleyhuskers.ca, and you'll see more with Bob Reist and that truck and some of the artwork on the BC Football Show right here on chillTV. Again, a big thanks, Tom, and you're watching chillTV. chillTV weather, April showers bring May flowers as we're heading into the first weekend of May, so it's mainly sunny, with a chance of showers, and the high is 17. And my guest anchor is Amanda Nicholls. A big thank you for joining us. You won a really cool category in the Total Makeover Challenge that you've been doing with Trish and Jenny on Chill and Chat. Tell us more about that.
Well, I ended up winning most inches lost during the time frame that we had, so.
And you feel good about yourself doing this.
I do, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now you're still voting, or we can still vote for you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely come vote for me. TotalMakeoverChallenge.com. My name's Amanda. Press the button under my name. feel free.
And no shame in plugging her.
Not
okay?
at all.
Absolutely.
Not at all. Feel free, though, to push that button under my name.
Thanks again, Amanda. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca and we'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.